First, we shall discuss the optimal level of pollution because that is very much required to understand the carbon trading market and how do we arrive at the optimal level of pollution. Okay, so this is the diagram with which we can discuss the optimal level of pollution. For Amit and Ajitesh, you must be thinking, in everything we are using these two lines, one upward sloping curve, another downward sloping curve, almost like a demand curve and supply curve, isn't it? Everywhere, be it your government tax or externality, in everything, whatever we have discussed till now, everywhere we use this curve, and because that is very much helpful with a simple diagram how we can express our ideas. Of course, when you use this diagram, we also take a lot of assumptions, but irrespective of that, we get our logical framework with this. Now, coming to the diagram, we can start with, say, the downward sloping. The upward sloping demand curve. That is very easy to understand. The upward sloping curve is marginal damage cost or MDC. And here in the diagram, in x-axis, we have taken the level of emissions or the level of pollution, you can say. And in y-axis or in the vertical axis, we take the cost and basically the damage or the cost that we take. It could be the pollution, the health cost, and the other would be the abatement cost. So it is the cost that we take in the vertical axis. Now, coming to the upward sloping curve, that is marginal damage cost, what we see here is that when the level of pollution increases, the overall cost of the pollution or the damage, the cost due to different type of damages increases significantly. Yeah, and that is quite obvious. So, for example, say the level of pollution in Delhi. Now, when the level of pollution increases, they are already suffering from a very high level of pollution. Now, when the pollution level goes up further, what happens? What are the costs that we can take? We can take all the defensive expenditures and the health expenditures that are directly caused due to the pollution. And one such example is that people use a lot of defensive goods such as air cooler, air conditioner, and then we use now air purifier, water purifier, and so all these things will come under the defensive expenditure because pollution level is very high. So you are buying all these things to cope up with the pollution. And then, not that all the time you can use your defensive goods to mitigate the damage of pollution. You are all suffering easily from a lot of pollution, and that's why there are a lot of health costs. Now, the disease prevalence in Delhi would be much higher compared to many other cities which are cleaner because of the high level of pollution. And again, some empirical evidence is also show that the lungs capacity of the children in Delhi is almost probably 20 or 30 or even some extent 50% is less than the others. That means if you have to take deep breath and you have to inhale a lot of oxygen, then so that actually if you have to fully use your lungs capacity to breathe, and then if you do a test in Delhi, then it is almost half for the small children. Why? Because the pollution level is so high. Because you are smoking every day. The people who smoke, their lungs capacity reduces. And since the pollution level is so high, your lungs capacity is also decreasing. And that leads to a lot of diseases. Your health impact is very high. And so you will be going very frequently to hospitals. You will be spending a lot of money for medicines, diagnosis, and all that. All those things can be added here. So that marginal damage cost increases when the pollution level increases. Now the other curve, that is marginal abatement cost curve, is a downward sloping curve, and that is sometimes a little confusing one. Okay? And so if you interpret from left to right, you'll be a little confused. That when the level of emission increases, your marginal abatement cost reduces. But this is not the right interpretation. You will not be able to get the clear idea if you interpret from left to right clearly. So how should you interpret? You interpret from right to left. Now what happens? That when the level of pollution is high, you are now attempting to reduce the level of pollution marginally to some extent. Then it is easier or it is less costly. Okay, let me use a pen and we can explain that. Suppose you are at E0, then pollution level is very high. So you are not doing anything. So you are all happily enjoying the pollution. But now government is attempting to reduce the carbon, okay, because you can convert all pollutant into equivalent of carbon dioxide, the carbon, and then so when we are trying to reduce the level of pollution, the level of pollution is say OE0. And now you are trying to reduce the level of pollution to say E1. Okay? And E1. Now what is happening? Definitely you are achieving some reduction in the total emission. So this reduction is quite easy. Okay? And so for example, you can ask the industries to say operate their industry less hours. You can introduce odd even numbers so that less people get scope to drive their motor vehicles. So like that in different ways. These are not very expensive for the economy. You can minimize the level of pollution. But when you try to minimize the pollution further, say this is actually say E2, then what happens? Now the cost is increasing. Okay, say earlier, you could introduce odd and even number, and you could achieve reduction in the pollution up to E1. But if you want to go down further, that odd even number will not help you because people take advantage of the odd even number. So people will buy two cars having one odd number and having one even number. Nowadays, you can pay money and get number accordingly also. So people are doing that, and people will have multiple cars. So pollution cannot be reduced further. So you have to adopt now new methods, and those methods will be sometimes expensive. So now you are suppose going to announce that the industries that are polluting heavily will be shut down, or say you will be going for a change in the inputs, like say kerosene cell is banned. Okay. Or say you will think that no, some inputs are really highly polluting and those inputs will not be available in the market. Okay. So that you can do. By doing that, you are able to again reduce the pollution level further. But when you want to achieve very low level of pollution, say E5, okay, OE5, then what happens? Then in this case, your cost is very high. So now the height is basically the cost, marginal abatement cost. You are trying to abate the pollution, and the cost that is incurred to achieve this level of pollution is now increasing. Now here actually you can think that now you notify all industries that no industry in India can use coal for producing electricity. Now suppose you announce this today, what will happen? Many industries will be shut down. So people will lose the employment and electricity prices will go up and so many other consequences will come. So those all that cost incurred to achieve this reduction in the pollution is basically the marginal abatement cost. And the height is now increasing further. So that is why in fact many times government is not able to implement many environmental measures because of the high cost involved in achieving that. or you want to, like say for example, in fact, for motor vehicles, so we have now implemented Euro 4 or 5. Ajidesh, do you know which standard we are now following? Euro?
No, sir.
You are not sure?
No, sir, not sure.
No, Euro 4 or 5 that we are following now. In fact, government was planning to implement the next level very soon. And also now we are saying that we are going to use the scrapping, implement the scrapping policy, that any vehicle which is more than 15 years old has to go to the scrap dealer. So all these things actually will have severe costs on the economy. Now people who had bought a car but now they have been driving it because they had bought it on EMI and they cannot buy a new car anymore. So even if it is now more than 15 years, they are not driving it. They are doing whatever maintenance is required. If you ask them to buy a new car, that is too expensive for the economy. Okay. So similarly for industries, if you ask them to adopt a new technology, that would be quite expensive also sometimes. So the marginal abatement cost will increase. So to achieve the optimal level of pollution, we need a balance between these two. That we don't want too much of health cost. That means too much of pollution has too much of health cost. But achieving zero level of pollution or low level of pollution is also equally expensive. Too much of price society has to pay in terms of money, job loss, okay, and industrial output reduction also. So for example, in fact, one a very good example will be our mining industry. During early 2000s, 2004-5, throughout the country, we saw that a lot of discussions are happening on illegal mining. Okay, and a commission, basically known as Saha Commission, basically submitted. Okay, government asked to do some inquiry about the illegality of the mines, and then Saha Commission submitted a report, and it pointed out the level of illegality that has happened in the mining industry. And now after that, many industries were shut down, closed. Basically, many mines were closed because government basically announced that these are all illegal mines and they did not follow the environmental rules, and whatever permission was issued to the mining company, that they did not adhere to that strictly. So they had to shut down a lot of mines. Now, when you shut down the mines, what is the consequence? Your raw material supply is affected. Your steel production will be affected. In fact, the present rise in the steel price is basically due to a significant rise in the iron ore price. And iron ore price has increased because there are very few producers who are able to supply iron ore to the market. So say the cost, you can now imagine. Now say iron ore which used to be available say at 5,000 rupees per ton is now available at say 8,000 per ton, because of lack of iron ore available in the market and good quality iron ore. So the economy may suffer in different ways. So when you shut down the industry, the employment directly and indirectly that used to be generated from mining industry is now also reduced significantly. So yeah, this is so we have to make a balance between these two, that we cannot have too much of damage due to health due to pollution, or you cannot have zero level of pollution and take the middle path. Okay? The Buddhist middle path, okay, is achieved here basically, that in the equilibrium here at point A we are getting the intersection, and intersection is the equilibrium. Basically it is determining E0 and the optimal level of cost, the marginal cost and marginal damage cost are now equalized here. Is it clear? How do we come up with the optimal level of pollution?
Sir, when we say that the optimal level of pollution where the intersection is happening, so in terms of like practicality, can we say that this is achievable, or we have some issues in like
No, coming to the practical example of optimal pollution, I would say that whatever pollution we are now achieving is that optimal level of pollution. Society has arrived at an equilibrium. Okay, but this equilibrium can be changed over time. And how do we change that equilibrium? That is shown in the next diagram. I think by the time I discuss the next diagram, you can. Okay, let me erase this. Not otherwise, yeah, because it looks confusing. Okay, so in this diagram, we are showing a change in both curves. Okay, now we have added say green line to show a shift in the damage curve, and that shift can happen. Remember this green line shift. Let me get the pen. Okay, the green line that here actually we are now drawing is showing an increase in the damage. When the curve shifts to left side, it simply implies that at same level of pollution, your cost is or damage is higher. Okay? But the curve can also shift to the right side. Okay? That suppose due to change in the pollution. So for example, pollution is increasing, but your damage is reducing because the component of the pollution is now less. So the composition of pollution has changed. For example, methane is probably more dangerous. Similarly, there are a lot of poisonous gas, which causes basically a lot more health hazard. But in fact, simple carbon dioxide is not that problematic, compared to many other gases, greenhouse gases, and methane gas. So there are many other poisonous gases that are more dangerous. And so at same level of pollution, your damage could reduce because your composition of the pollution has changed. But here we have shown that usually the pollution level goes up, and that's why we have shown a green line. That is very easy to understand. But the other things, particularly the marginal abatement cost, here we have given two options: red dot lines and orange dot lines. Now, how does this happen? That there will be a shift in the marginal abatement cost curves, and that shift can happen due to change in the technology. Okay, because say the environmental scientist could come up with a technology which can minimize the cost of abatement. That means you can reduce the pollution at very low cost because of a better technology. And in that case, when the abatement cost goes down, you will find the orange line, orange dotted line. And yeah, this one basically that when we are trying to reduce the pollution, say from E0 to certain level, or even E star level. Now, in original case, the height used to be E star A. That used to be the abatement cost. But when the technology becomes better, you basically have to incur actually much less. Technological improvements can help us in minimizing the level of pollution, and it can be in different forms. For example, we are discussing use of LED. Okay, now, you are getting the same light or the energy that was required, but then now the equipments have become very efficient, so you need less energy for getting the same light. Similarly, you can think about other. So, for example, the air conditioner that we are all using. You still using air conditioner, but the new technology requires less electricity. So for example, the dual inverter air conditioners consume significantly less electricity, and the star rated, also 5-star rated electrical appliances consume less electricity, and these are basically technological advancements, because it is the same air conditioner, but it has come up with a new technology. Okay, so here we show that it goes down, but if technology doesn't improve and then the clean raw materials say get adjusted, then we have to go for the dirty raw materials, and in that case, the pollution level or the abatement cost may increase significantly. So that is why we can, whenever we are thinking about the optimal level of pollution, definitely no doubt it is a theoretical construct. But then in reality, we can discuss. In fact, okay, I was giving the example of India, that usually in the international negotiations, there is a fighting between the developed countries and developing countries. Developing countries always blame that the developed countries are consuming a lot of resources, and they have already caused a lot of pollution. And that is why they should first try to reduce the level of pollution, because the per capita emission is very high, 10 times than the developing countries. So they should take the responsibility. But the developed countries are saying that what to do actually. We had used old technology, and that's how we have caused this much pollution. But you all, yeah, say newcomers can use the clean technology. You don't have an industrial base. Now you can use this clean industrial technology, so that your pollution level is less. Now, so if all the new industrialized countries can adapt clean technology, then the overall pollution of the planet can also go down substantially. And so here actually what happens, we are relating it to the optimal level of pollution. Okay, so now in international negotiations, developed countries sometimes make commitments like in Kyoto Protocol, and they sometimes announce that we will try to reduce the pollution to this level. But when they come back to their law-making agencies such as Parliament in India, Parliament, there will be a lot of debate and discussion that, okay, you want to reduce the carbon emission from this level to this level, but how will you achieve this? What strategy do you have? Some industries may say that, no, we'll ask all the dirty industries to shut down. But can you shut down the dirty industry? Is it so easy? Because it is causing pollution? No. Not in most of the developing countries, we see that developing countries are becoming pollution heavens. Okay? That means all the dirty industries are relocating their production base from the strictly regulated economies to not so regulated economies like India. And for example, the ship breaking industry in Gujarat along is an example that developing countries don't care about their own health, and they continue the dirty jobs. So since ship breaking is hazardous, this is the developed countries are not doing this. Rather, they are exporting it to India or other developing countries. And among the developing countries, there is a fighting to attract such industries because they will get some employment at the cost of the health of the employees. So developing countries also protest that since developed countries are not transferring the clean technology, we will not be able to achieve low level of pollution, because if you try to do that, then it will be too expensive also. So that's this question that how do we see optimal pollution level in real life? I don't say that whatever pollution level we are having at present is the optimal level of pollution, and this is also a continuous process. When technology improves, some industries reduce the pollution, some industries do not produce, and that's how it goes on. Did I make some sense?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think also the ban on use of chlorofluorocarbons like CFCs for
CFC has been banned, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
that has helped us in repairing our ozone layer.
Ozone layer, yes.
Now ozone layer is almost restored. Okay? But ozone layer was depleting very fast, and now because of a complete ban on the CFC, now we see that ozone layer is fully repaired, almost fully repaired. So that was probably easy to achieve, but it is not easy for all the technologies. Some technologies are quite rigid. You don't have a substitute for this. and that's what we have to continue with. Okay. Anything else you would like to discuss?